Good morning. I had a lot of fun yesterday evening when I got to that campground. Thanks again to Pat and Tom, wonderful hosts, friendly folks, good cooked home meal. That was a lot of fun for me. But this morning, it's only like 2 miles, I think. We'll be in the center of Montell looking for breakfast. I hear the place to be is a place called Table 15 with a lot of farm fresh goods, but unfortunately they are closed this morning, so we gotta find an alternative. So I'll see you in town here shortly. Well, here's the little town of Montell. Looks like the only place to eat that's currently open is Cafe Hilltop. That's a little bit further east, just off the route through town. It's not far away though, so that's where I'm aiming. I'm passing by this tree and that plaque on there says it's Wisconsin's biggest tree. It's been pruned quite a bit, but it is a big one. Here we are, Cafe Hilltop. This little place. All done with breakfast. Finish up our walk through town, and it's back into the back roads. Cool water features around town. There's the Table 15 place. They don't open for breakfast today, unfortunately. Well, we're out of the main part of town. Now we got about 11 miles. We'll be hitting the old John Muir homestead, so we'll get to see that today. That'll be pretty cool. A little bit of a view of the Fox River there on the other side of the trees before we start turning away from it and going back southbound. Passing by Williams Lake. Found a little dirt pull-off the side of the road. This makes a good place to take a break, dry some stuff out. Still a beautiful, sunny, cool day. I think the temperatures are starting to warm back into the 80s or so coming up in the next week, so I gotta enjoy this nice temperatures while we got them. Well, just down a little bit from where I was taking a break, I'm up to Page Creek. I need to see if I can get down there and just top up a little bit of water. Might be a little tricky. Okay, I tried it from that side of the road. Very difficult to collect water without falling in, but I got some. Enough to get me potentially to the next water source. I feel like views like this are kind of rare. This little hilltop view, I can see like 10 plus miles out on the horizon. There's a really big farmhouse over there. Lots of beautiful pine trees. For the last couple of days or so, I've been noticing that I'm seeing like leaves fall from the trees. Maybe it's only a certain type of tree that's already losing their leaves, but it's like early August still. It's not exactly fall time frame yet. Yeah, we made it to the start of the John Muir Park segment. I feel like I haven't been in a segment in a while. This loops around the old John Muir homestead and Ennis Lake for the next mile and a half or so, I think at least. And then once we get to the other side, I think there's like maybe a visitor center or something over there. But it'll be a good place to get lunch. It might be like noon 30 by the time we get there. So let's see what this park has to offer. And it's Lake Inlet. Not much of a view of the lake. It's kind of overgrown with all the trees, but it's over there somewhere. Let's see if we can get a view of it. There's a nice little view of the lake. There's some people out there on a boat. We just completed the loop around the lake. The end of the John Muir segment. Nice little sign on this side. Looks like just kind of a park and a little pavilion area. Some bathrooms maybe. We'll just go find a little shady spot and have our lunch break. All done with lunch. And before I head out, I'm just looking around to see if I can find some informational stuff about old John Muir. Born in Scotland, 1838. Came to America, lived here through his teen years, helped preserve the lake, and fell in love with being a naturalist. Most rugged, fervent naturalist America has produced, and the father of the national parks of our country. Every hiker knows who John Muir is. Well, that's it for the John Muir Park. One quick little segment through the woods for today, back to road walking. I don't know how far total distance-wise. We'll just keep going, getting close as we can to Portage. We can get there at a relatively decent hour in the morning. Probably can't check into the hotel until later, but we'll see. We'll see where we end up. Found a snapping turtle dead on the side of the road. I was just talking with Pat and Tom yesterday that I hadn't seen any crushed turtles on the road. Well, there you go. That's definitely an old snapping turtle. I'm seeing a few more Amish farms out here. There was a dude out front of his house running a little like vegetable stand and stuff with some people visiting, patronizing his wares. I didn't want to go over and stick a camera in his face, but it's kind of cool to see all that. I'm getting tired. I feel like I'm not going much further. Whatever nearest opportunity to set up a tent, I'm going to be looking at taking it. Well, I still haven't found anything. It looks like a decent place for a tent yet. It's too swampy, or there's farm fields, or the vegetation's too thick, or there's a house right there. So, I'm still heading down the road. Looks like on the maps there's about 2 more potential opportunities for wooded areas before I just end up walking into town at this point. We'll see how far I get. Well, here we are. I think this will work. Nice little stealth spot in the woods. I don't think anyone will find me back here. I'm a little bit off of that main road I've been walking down. I'm getting kind of desperate the last little mile or two, wondering if I was going to find anything. But here we are. So I think that's it for today. It's been a good long day. I don't know how many miles we did, but I definitely did a couple extra from what I was planning to do. But it just makes tomorrow getting into town a little bit shorter. So we'll see that coming up. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the morning. Good morning. Another successful night stealthing. Today, we're right on the outskirts of the town of Portage. I think only like 2 or 3 miles, and we're kind of at the outskirts, and we hit a little bit of a segment along a canal. And it's another one of those funky out and backs where I guess originally the trail used to route straight through there, but new land ownership has kind of chopped it off and segmented it a little bit. So you gotta do this like, it's almost a mile, I think, like a mile out and then a mile back, and then we kind of continue through the middle of town where I found a good place for breakfast that's going to be open this morning. So we'll hit that, and then we got to divert 2.5 miles to the north side of town where the hotel and the Walmart and all that other stuff is at. So a little bit of running around on these side adventures, but we'll get it done here. It's not too bad. We're pretty close to town. Cool looking foggy fields this morning. The temperature is just above 50. Probably seen about 40 deer this morning already in groups of like 2 and 3, but they always bound away too quick. Historic Portage, where the north begins. It's too bad I'm heading south currently. There's a historic marker for Fort Winnebago. It was built in 1828. Crossing the Fox River. There we go, the Portage Canal segment. This is the start of the little out and back we gotta do. And it takes us up to this Indian agency house, somewhere along the canal. There's the canal, a little swamped in with all the lily pads. This is definitely a pretty area. It's early on a Sunday morning. I'm surprised there's not more people out, like jogging or walking their dogs or something. There's another rare view, I feel like, when the trail is just straight and you can see all the way down for like a mile ahead. Here's a little info thingy on the agency house. Built in 1832. Let's see. For the U.S. government to make payments to and work with the Winnebago Indians, whose actual name was the Ho-Chunk Nation. I haven't got to the house yet, it's just a little bit further up. Well, here's the first little building. Enter here for the tour. I don't think they're open at 7 a.m. on a Sunday morning. Well, we can see the outside at least. I think that's the main house. Almost 200 years old then at this point, if it was kind of 1830s, I think it was built. Okay, that was that for this first half of the canal segment. I'm just gonna walk the road back. I'm still on the other side of the canal. And from here we link back up, keep following the canal to the middle of town, and our next stop will be breakfast. Well, we're getting into the heart of the city now. The Portage Cafe is what we're aiming for. It's just up a little bit and around a corner, not far. Cool town aesthetic. The population's only like 10,000 people. It's got a really cool old town feel to it. There's the cafe right there. All done with an awesome breakfast. From here we got about 2.5 miles up the road to get to the Super 8, I think is where I'm booked. We're definitely on the early side, so probably have a little bit of wait. I got nowhere else to be, so probably just chilling in their lobby, see if I can get on the Wi-Fi. I've got one video that needs uploading, and then I think I'm all caught up there otherwise. Historic Portage, the third oldest city. It makes sense being on a major waterway. old Canadian Pacific engine up there. A sign across the way with a little target that says Home of Olympic Dreams. None of you know this, but if I didn't join the Air Force, I turned down a full ride scholarship to shooting college. Could have been on the Olympics. A path not taken. I was just chuckling to myself about the Olympics. If you guys have been paying attention, it was the Turkish pistol shooter who got silver. If I was allowed to shoot in the Olympics this year, he would have got bronze. Well, I'm passing by this McDonald's, and I think I'm going to hang out here for a little bit. They should have decent Wi-Fi. I'm early still, so I probably can't check into the hotel anyway. So I think this will work. See if I can get my video uploaded. I'm all done at the McDonald's. Was there for about an hour. Got a video uploaded. So we're good to go. The Super 8 is just a little bit further down the road, so that'll be the next stop. And I think it's still before noon even. So we're doing good on everything. We have arrived. And here we go, we're all checked in. I had to hang out for about an hour for the first room to become available. So I think it's about 12:45 right now, not too bad. They've got laundry services and stuff here. What's interesting is the washers and dryers are credit card pay activated, which is something I don't think I've ever seen before. So that's kind of neat. Better than lugging around like $5 in quarters. But I'll get cleaned up real quick. We may do lunch next before laundry, but I think laundry's the other big thing I want to get done today. I'll probably finish planning today. I got most of it done just by hanging out some downtime, like at the breakfast, the McDonald's, and hanging out here and stuff. So I think I know what the next 200 miles or so looks like. But even still, I think we'll do the resupply run tomorrow and just knock out laundry today. That's the last big thing. So cleaned up first and then probably lunch. Okay, feeling a little bit better and refreshed, all cleaned up. There's a couple of fast food options in the near vicinity, but there's also a Quick Trip right next door, so I just ran over to the Quick Trip. I got a little chicken sandwich and a couple of drinks. I think that'll do it for kind of a lunch snack, and then we'll get a full dinner somewhere later. But I got a question for you guys. If anybody's like smart on plants and potential insects of the local Wisconsin area, I've got a couple of welts on my legs from a couple of days ago, maybe 4 or 5 days ago now. And what I think they're from is when I was getting water from a lake maybe, I pushed through some brush and it was like a spiky plant had poked through my pants and stabbed me in a couple of places on my legs, and those kind of developed into a kind of a goose egg type welt, to where right at the prick point there's like a little bit of a blister that had blistered up. There's no real pain or anything associated with it, and mildly itchy is the only thing, and they're just now starting to fade and go away. So if you guys know what that might be, let me know, and I'll try to avoid that in the future. I don't think it was any type of insect. I don't think I was stung by anything that I know of. I think it happened when I was going through some spiky brush. But that's a weird one. That's a new one for me. Anyway, I'm going to have my snacks, have my food. We'll get laundry going, and then just try to relax a little bit now. Well, it's a couple hours later. Got laundry done. I got everything else organized and drying, and whatever needs to be taken care of in my room. Everything's kind of laid out everywhere. But it's dinner time, I think. A lot of fast food options nearby, but there is an all-you-can-eat pizza buffet place, which sounds good enough, I think. So I think we'll go try some pizza here for dinner. Here's gonna be dinner, a pizza ranch. Apparently there's like a game center and all kinds of things inside for the kiddos, but I'm just here for the pizza. And back in the room. That was a really good dinner. Good pizza over there. On the way back, I stopped in at the Quick Trip and got myself a little mint chocolate chip ice cream because that's my favorite. So we'll have that in a little bit. And I think that's going to close out today. So it's been good. A little bit of hiking. Good to see walking through the entire town of Portage. Now we're stuck up on the north side, so we'll see what trouble we get into for tomorrow. But we got a full 0 day in town. Eating lots of good food. We'll get a resupply shopping done, and otherwise I think we got all the other chores I need to do all caught up with videos, so that's always a good thing. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching. We'll see y'all in the next one.